Hi guys, this is Megan with Colorado Triathlete, and today I am with the Kona age group winner for 70 to 74, Mr. Simon Butterworth. Thanks for joining us today. How are you doing? How are you?
Good.
Good.
Very good.
Good. Well, congratulations on your amazing performance. But before we get into that, let's talk a little bit about how did you get into triathlon, and what was your first triathlon, and how did that go?
Well, I got interested in triathlon as I started running again in my late 30s actually, after about 20 years of not doing much in the way of athletics, and bought a couple of the magazines, and that sort of seemed interesting. And then I was over in Germany in my wife's hometown and watched the triathlon that took place there. Unfortunately, it doesn't happen anymore, because if it did, I would be definitely back there racing it at least once. Anyway, that race was interesting to say the least, because Germans being Germans, and back in the day they didn't have specific triathlon apparel, so the Germans didn't think twice about pulling off their clothes as they ran up the beach to their bikes, and it was quite an exhibition. And I thought, what a bunch of fun guys and gals. So it took a few years, but I think it was about 6 years after that, I did my first race in Oyster Bay, New York, not far from where I lived. And I knew I was sort of a halfway decent swimmer, not too good a runner, but what really stunned me was I ended up having the fastest bike split on a bike that I'd purchased from my boss for $50 and added a pair of aero bars. So that had me hooked. I thought, geez, if I can, I was fourth overall, but fourth in the age group. So I thought, gee, if I'm fourth, how hard could it be to get to first? Well, getting from fourth to first is hard, as I discovered. It took me about another 3 or 4 years before I won a race.
Now, did you back then, were there triathlon clubs, or could you train with people, or how did you keep training after you got going in the sport?
There was a pretty active triathlon community on Long Island. The race in Oyster Bay was called the Seacrest something or other Oyster Bay Triathlon, and it still is one of the biggest races in the country. They do a huge relay as well, which adds to the numbers. And one of the people that was involved in that race, well, there were several people that I got to know, but one of them that's well known in the triathlon world is Steve Tarpinian, who tragically took his own life a couple of years ago. Steve was my first swim coach, and then I got to know a bunch of Steve's friends and was actually involved in building up the first triathlon club on Long Island, Team Runner's Edge.
Is it still there today?
It's still there today. In 2002, we had 11 of our team members in Kona. That's how good a group we were.
Wow.